I can't wait for Happy Gilmore 2. It's going to be the worst movie ever, but I'm going to watch it.
It's going to be really bad.
It's going to be so bad.
Really bad.
I can't wait, though. I just can't wait. I'm a part of the problem.
It's going to be so bad. It's going to be funny because they just are going to throw so many cameos in there.
Yes.
That's all the movie's going to be.
100%. 100%.
It's going to be Step Brothers with golf.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Step Brothers is a good movie.
I mean, I assume he'll bring in all of his buddies somehow into this movie.
Oh, he always does.
Oh, yeah. Kevin James will be a caddy that farts. David Spade will probably be the you jackass guy. I mean, yeah.
No, that's Rob Schneider's bit, dude.
Oh, yeah. Rob Schneider.
He'll
be in there.
Rob Schneider, yeah.
Hunter, I got my Dr. Pepper saved for the cold open.
You did it. I guess that means cue the open.
I'm just trying to get this
going.
This
is our new bit. We don't do cold opens. We do can opens.
Cheers.
Are you ready?
As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.
You know, they have those nerds clusters, which is new. Yeah, which is good.
10-5! Touchdown!
Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream rise to the top, oh yeah.
What are we doing?
Wild along faces. We're not dead yet.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
Welcome to Press Box After Dark. Today is Thursday, May 22nd, and Hunter talking earlier about game shows had me thinking. I'm going to ask a question round table here. If you could be on any game show, what would it be? It's been a while since I've seen you guys. We're back. It's been a few weeks. Hunter's back from Canada or wherever he was at. So Hunter, if you could be on any game show, what would it be?
Well, you guys know me. It's Survivor, so everybody should know that. But I'll give a traditional game show answer.
Okay, I was going to say, that doesn't count.
Yeah, I'll give a traditional game show answer. Does this count? It's more of a competitive game show. I'm going to go Wipeout. I would love to be on Wipeout.
Okay.
I think that would be fun as hell. I would do horribly. I'm not a great swimmer, but I think it'd be fun.
Well, you don't have to swim if you don't fall off.
Do you think I can get across the big balls?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
The goal is to not be swimming.
43 seconds in, and we've already taken a turn. Got it.
A lot of big balls. I do love isn't it like the Sports Center anchors or whatever that used to announce that show or whatever on ABC?
John Anderson.
Yeah.
Was that the Johns?
Oh, it was
They
awesome.
were both John, yeah.
I think it was John Anderson, and was it John Henson was the other one?
Or
John...
was it Bucci Gross? No?
No. It was two Johns. They made a bunch of John jokes all the time.
Yeah. Oh, so we're talking big balls and John. Here we go.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Got that explicit rating real quick.
Leave it in.
Hi, Cam. What's up, buddy? What game show would you be on? Hunter gave me reality first. I didn't ask reality. I don't know.
I think I would go on Deal or No Deal.
Ooh, good pick.
Oh, good pick. Yeah.
Not because it's like a great show. It's actually rather boring and frustrating to watch because they just...
But you're trying to hang out with 25 supermodels?
Well, that, and I feel like it's the easiest game to win a lot of money. I feel like at some point you're going to be offered six figures, and every time I watch that show, I'm like, just take the deal.
Yeah.
Just take the deal.
Would you also...
I understand that's not good for TV, but like, just take the deal.
Would you also want to be the banker? That sounds kind of fun, a little bit. Just making up bullshit.
You got it. You got them just wrapped around your finger, man.
I'm with you, Cam. Though it's like they're like, "Oh, you've only won $42,000. You could have won 150." Yeah, but I still walk away with 42 grand. That's fine. Sure, give me that.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
And also one of my favorite skits ever from Mad TV is that Deal or No Deal skit with Key and Peele. That was amazing.
Landon walked away, so we'll get back to him later. Probably a half hour, 45 minutes.
Right now. Disappears
He'll
for
be
2 hours.
He'll be in the outro.
Yeah.
It's rolled credits.
You guys hear that can earlier? Landon is here.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he starts the show these days. All right, Herod, what would be your game show?
Man, I love game shows. So I'm gonna take a couple here.
Couple.
I would go on
a list of 30.
Whammy, Press Your Luck.
Oh yeah, great,
Okay.
great pick. Trivia and gambling, you're in.
Yeah, dude. There used to be a game show called Lingo, and it was like Wordle meets Bingo, and I think I would absolutely dominate at that game.
Okay.
And I would absolutely go on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
I think I could.
That's my
thrive
favorite.
at that one.
That's my favorite. We have I don't know why, but for some reason that's now also my 2-year-old's favorite show.
Oh, let's go, dude.
He just brings me the remote and says, "Wheel, wheel." And I'm like, it's not on until 6:30. You gotta know. But he knows it records, so he's like, "Wheel." So we end up going and watching like 3 weeks ago.
I had somebody tell me one time, like you can get the Wheel of Fortune puzzles faster than the people on the show. You should go on the show. I'm like, it's so much easier from your couch, though.
It's a different
lights,
pressure.
without the audience, like.
Yeah, it's a different pressure being up there. I would imagine for every show, let alone.
I would also go on Family Feud, but I don't know that my family would understand the rules, and they would probably just try to fight each other.
That's fair. Yeah, I would have to handpick the group I would go.
I love game
there
shows,
with.
man. I love a good game show.
Landon, what's your game show of choice?
Jordan picked mine because he said 3.
Sorry. You had your chance. You walked away.
And Hunter said a reality show, so we're off to a good
I mean, we usually go through and then we're like, oh, let me also say other ones, but it's fine. Whatever, Jordan.
The one time I don't get introduced last and Landon gets butthurt because he walked away for 2 minutes.
Oh, that's
my
true.
fault.
That actually is our fault because he's used to going last, so he can just rattle off as many as he wants.
Which means you should have known to not walk away.
It's true. I thought I was burning stuff in the oven.
This is on you.
I thought I was burning stuff. I would go Wheel of Fortune.
That
was my answer.
If you all right, so but because that one was somewhat taken, give me another one.
Ooh, good pick.
Price is Right.
Oh, it's good. It's good. That'd be fun.
If you had to pick any era of Price is Right host to go on the show with, who would it be? Because I know you're not going on there with Drew Carey.
Bob.
It's got to be
There's
Bob.
only one
Gotta
right
be Bob.
answer.
There's only one.
Dude,
Fat Drew.
Richard
Fat Drew.
Dawson kissing all the ladies and stuff?
Not skinny Drew.
Yeah,
Fat
Drew before the drugs. Whose line is it anyway, Drew?
Oh, the best Drew.
That's a great show.
I wish that was a game show. I would go on
Every
that.
show he's ever been on was great except the Drew Carey show.
Yeah.
True.
I'd never actually seen that, if I'm going to be real honest. Yeah, they made fun of it a lot on Who's Line. That's all I know. Before we introduce our very, very special 6th member tonight,
Let's go.
I would like to say that the Game Show Network may be my top choice to put on with company at the house.
I love the Game Show Network.
Like, it's perfect, just kind of on. I mean, if there's a game or something, I'll put a game on. But if there's, if it's football season, whatever, it's
the
a
Game
Saturday.
Show Network is why I love game shows, because my aunt, we used to go visit my aunt, and it was just on all the time.
Yeah.
And I learned about so many new shows.
Because Major League Baseball royally fucks all of its fans, I can't put a Cubs game on here. So it's Game Show Network, or it's like something on like HGTV.
Yeah.
Like, you just throw those 2 channels on when we have company over. So anyway,
Love It or List It. That show's elite.
It's on all the time. It's on all the time.
Love It or List It.
Yeah.
That shit's good.
Dude, I'll sit down and I'll watch like 4 straight hours of like the Newlywed Game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like from 1986.
Yes.
Big fan.
Yes. There's some good stuff. There's one called America Says that I really like.
That's
I love
Cat's
that.
favorite.
Yeah.
Love that.
My
I would
favorite.
go on that.
I like Jordan would kill at this game. I know he likes this game. Chain Reaction.
Oh, I love I have Chain
I
Reaction.
love Chain Reaction.
Love
That
that.
is
Em
so
and I
good.
love that show. My folks
Yeah.
do not like that. Em and I love watching that.
If we're talking retired game shows, I would like to add The Weakest Link to the list.
Oh, love that one too.
You are?
Love that one too.
Goodbye.
That's a good one.
That lady was so snarky.
Okay, let's introduce our very, very, very special 6th member tonight. It's Grandma Cass.
Let's go.
Throw a sound effect in there, Landon.
Yeah, Hunter, play the Golden Girls theme song there.
Thank
I don't
you
want
for
to get copyrighted infringement here.
So, all right, Cass, what's your game show?
If Jordan didn't take it.
Yeah,
Jeopardy.
Jordan probably said it.
She said Jeopardy.
No, it's Jeopardy Children Edition.
Yeah.
I could win that one.
Junior Jeopardy.
Oh, I gotta
Are
Dude,
you
can you
smarter
imagine-
than a 5th grader is what
Are
that's
you smarter
called.
than a
Can
fifth
you
grader?
imagine if they're
Yeah.
sitting there and it's like a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old, and then they just pan to Grandma Cass in the 3rd slot?
For the record, I love watching Jeopardy, but it reminds me that there are so many people out there infinitely smarter than me.
I feel pretty dumb when I watch it.
There's
I'm gonna
people
be
that will
real
rattle off like 8 questions in a row, and I'm like, I got one, and it was about Texas.
Or when they have the sports categories on
Yeah.
there and none of the
Yeah.
contestants
Yeah.
know it.
So regular Jeopardy, absolutely not. Absolutely, I would fail. Also, I will say, I think the biggest trick to Jeopardy is the clicker.
all
Because
the-
the
it's
people
all
that
the
go
time.
on there, they know what it is. But you see all of them doing this every time, when they know. And so you would have to get the clicker down. But I think anything so I just need to become a celebrity so I can go on Celebrity Jeopardy.
Oh,
That's
less pressure.
infinitely easier.
I just thought of something because Cass said celebrity, and Cass might be the only one old enough to remember it. But Hollywood Squares,
Hollywood
elite.
Squares.
elite.
It was so good.
I loved watching that.
Love
Never land on
Hollywood.
Whoopi Goldberg ever. She's not going to help.
That show came on at first, like the reruns of it, and I was so confused. I never could understand.
You should do a game show
That makes
draft,
sense,
Hunter. Put it in the
Okay,
legend.
I'll put in the ideas. I'll put in the ideas as soon as we get off of this podcast in about 5 hours.
Okay. What's our agenda tonight?
Nobody
Well,
knows.
I-
I've got one real quick.
Oh boy.
Cash cab.
Oh, love
Cash
me some Cash
Cab.
Cab. Me and
Cash
Kat
Cab
are
was
going. Me and Kat are
nice.
going to New York. I don't know how to get on Cash Cab, but I'm going to take a bunch of cab rides
it-
and just hope that I'm in there.
We
Is it not
legit,
still in New
when I
York?
was in New York, the first
Where's
like
it
2
filmed?
days, every cab that we opened, we would like see if it was the cash cab. We legit told a guy no, go away because we were trying to get in the cash cab.
Is it still on? Is that still a show?
I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure they
know.
still make new episodes. Yeah, they do.
No. No shot.
That
Yeah,
could
they
absolutely
do.
go on forever if you wanted it to. New
Yeah,
York
that
is
show's awesome.
insane. It's awesome.
And who's going to
Oh,
say
that
no?
show's
Like as
great.
soon as you get into a cab, even if you don't watch game shows, they're like, "Hey, you want to answer trivia questions and win money? If you
Lights
lose, nothing
pop
happens."
on.
Yeah,
Oh.
especially if
so
you're
cool.
traveling with somebody, like you double your chances of correct answers.
Okay, here's a
Not sure
good
what
quick
landed.
question. You guys are on Cash Cab, okay? And you have to phone a friend for a question of this group. Who are you calling?
Zach.
Zach or Cam?
I think I might be calling Cameron because I'm probably going
Is
to
it geography?
Yeah,
I'm probably
Depends
calling
on the
Cameron.
know the
category.
category.
My thought was
Yes, sir.
Cam too. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I'm calling Cam.
If I
Yeah,
know the
it's-
category and it's geography, it's definitely Cam.
Or
Who
yeah,
are
it's
you
going
not
to be
calling?
like
I'm not
country
calling you,
flags
Landon.
or
I'm sorry. I
something.
love you, buddy. I'm not calling you.
Yeah.
Fair.
I might convince Cash Cab, be like, "Hey, I got a lifeline that's gonna get it wrong. Can I just
If
have a
it's
second
like,
call just for the memes?"
If it's like 80s music, I can call my dad. You know?
It's like that guy on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, also a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That called his dad or mom and was like, "Oh, I don't really need you. I just want to
Oh,
let you know
yeah.
I'm going to win $1
The
million."
first guy that won it. Do you know his name,
Dude.
Landon?
I do not.
His name's John Carpenter. How's that for a trivia question?
Nice.
Mm. Was
I
he
was
a
like
builder?
9 years old. I used to
Yeah,
love
the
me some Millionaire.
Guy with the glasses. Yeah.
Was he a builder? Carpenter.
No, his name's John,
Oh.
not Bob.
That was
Hunter, can we get this thing on
That
the
was
road,
bad.
please?
Yeah, we can. This bumbling group of idiots, we are known as Press Box After Dark. If you want to help this podcast help us grow, follow us and subscribe to us on Spotify and on YouTube. We actually grew some numbers while we were away. We're almost 25 followers or subscribers on YouTube.
Maybe that's
Or
not
like
enough.
us whenever we don't post.
Yeah, maybe we just hold off on doing a podcast forever. And we'll get some
No,
more
we've been
followers.
putting shorts out from our last 2 episodes. Have been doing pretty well, so I appreciate everybody who's subscribed to us so far and everybody who's followed us on Spotify. help us out. Pressbox After Dark on Spotify and on YouTube. You can also check us out on all of our socials at PressboxAD on Twitter. And in our Twitter bio is our website, PressboxAfterDark.com. We have weekly blogs. We just launched a brand new blog, the Ball and Baddies WNBA blog. We're going to get some WNBA talk tonight. But before we get into our actual sports topics that we have here on this episode here, I was given a new segment idea by our friend Jordan, and I thought to myself, you know what? This is a perfect way to just intro every episode. Let's just get some continuity here. Let's start some new segments. So for the first time ever, we're going to introduce a new segment on Pressbox After Dark. I'm going to hit the soundbite right here.
We need some sort of robot. Oh, crap. I'm some sort of robot.
All right. This is our brand new segment, Jordan Reads AI Tweets. Jordan Reads AI Tweets is brought to you by Artificial Intelligence, Inc. Artificial Intelligence, Inc. We're taking over. You can't stop us.
Please
Jordan,
tell me
take it
in
away.
post. Please tell me in post there's just not going to be a sound effect.
Oh, there's going to be a sound effect. Me and Jordan found it.
Yeah, we've already got it taken care of, guy.
Yep.
All right, good.
Jordan, take it away. Read your AI tweet.
I don't know if I'm just new to this or if I have just discovered this. I don't know. But apparently AI will summarize your Twitter profile. I'm sorry, your X profile now. And so I did a deep dive, and I was just going to read some of these tonight. So logically, I did Pressbox After Dark. We need a summary there. It's described as a witty sports podcast crew hyping college football chaos and epic bowl game moments with a knack for snarky commentary. Pressbox After Dark is hyping Hail State Baseball, launching a WNBA blog, and diving into Survivor 48 drama with spicy takes. That's a shout out to Hunter.
See who tweets about his stuff and none about the rest of his
let's
stuff.
See. Zach Carlisle, a passionate Iowa Hawkeye and Dallas Cowboys fan, hosts Pressbox After Dark and delivers sharp NFL and college football takes, believing Caitlin Clark revolutionized basketball and postseason baseball creates legends. Zach's been hyping March Madness, roasting bad draft picks, and cheering epic sports moments like Rory's Masters win.
Okay.
So these get so much better.
That's terrible.
Me, a Texas-based sports podcaster, I guess, passionately cheers for the Longhorns and witty banter, believing big spending teams like the Dodgers aren't baseball's villains. Jordan has been roasting college football recruiting, hyping Texas in the SEC, and playfully jabbing pals like Hunter Bolin 16.
The robots even know that you pick on me too much, you asshole.
Hunter Bolin, a passionate Mississippi State fan and podcast host, believes in the thrill of college football and the joy of taco soup. Did I miss something there?
I've never tweeted about taco soup ever.
Proudly cheering for the Choctaws and dreaming big for the White Sox in 2025.
The White Sox.
Hunter has been hyping Mississippi State, roasting Mr. Pibb fans, and geeking out over wrestling and Survivor. That's the most accurate one so far.
I've never heard you say the words taco soup.
I found the tweet. It was October 22nd of 2022.
Oh, my God.
Wait, what?
Listed below are the positives from the Mississippi State-Alabama game. 1, State finally scored a touchdown against Alabama. 2, next week is the bye week for Mississippi State. 3, my wife, Kat Bowen, made a fantastic bowl of taco soup. That is all.
It's just 3 years old. All right. Cameron Gross, a proud JMU alum, cheers on his Dukes and pals with witty game day banter, believing in the power of team spirit and a good meal from Shoney's.
Yes.
Cameron has been roasting friends over movie tastes and cheering on sports graphics, all while debating Cheerwine versus Dr. Pepper.
Sports graphics, huh?
Now's when you got to start paying attention.
Oh, no.
At Landon_Autry, a proud ACU grad and Texas Tech fan, passionately cheers for his Wildcats and critiques college football's biased systems with sharp wit. Landon has been hyping ACU football, roasting NCAA refs, and tossing trivia curveballs with pals.
Trivia curveballs.
Now, Wait, that was at Landon _Autry. At Landon Autry with no underscore has not had enough activity for Twitter to analyze.
What about at Autry Landon?
And because Cass is actually a member now, this was actually the first one I did, but this is great. Cassie Kelly, a witty social media pro, champions women's sports and humorously admits to dropping a bowling ball on her sister's head as a kid.
That's when murder.
She's dishing witty takes on life from karaoke fails to jobless blogging ventures with a side of cheeky political jabs.
Cheeky.
Tell me about dropping a bowling ball on your sister's head.
When did you tweet about that? In 2018 or something?
April 8th, 2025.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Landon liked it.
So I learned that you can run this 2 or 3 times and it'll give you something just a little bit different every time. The bowling ball dropping on the head was the only thing that stayed consistent on Cassie.
Yeah, it's no, you have to talk about this. This is
my gosh.
I don't really remember it.
But it does.
But I was probably 8 or 9. And I had and it was a church function or something.
Oh,
we were all there bowling and I just wasn't paying attention. And you know how you usually have to step up to the bowling alley?
Mm-hmm.
I just I don't remember how it happened, but I was probably, like I said, if I was 8 or 9, Shelby was 2 or 3.
My question is, how does one's head end up under a bowling ball?
I mean, I'm holding it here. She's a tiny human. She's also down. She's on the regular floor. I was standing
She's laying
up
on the ground.
Well, what I know for sure is that Twitter never forgets.
They don't. No.
What a summary.
Okay.
Hi, buddy.
That's
What's
so
up?
good.
Well,
I was
that is
telling my
our
friends
brand
about
new
how
segment. Jordan
I
Reese
dropped a bowling ball.
AI tweets.
I had so much fun when I was looking this stuff up. Man.
That's if you get famous and you can just Google questions about yourself and see what the fill in the blank
I
is.
legit,
You know what I mean?
I clicked this button on accident the other day because it was next to the compose new tweet button. And I was
didn't
like, oh, what is this? I was thinking it was going to make me pay for Elon Musk's app of porn bots.
I've never
back out of it, and then I saw it and was like, "Oh, this is fun. Let's roll."
I've never seen that.
Guess what, Jordan? That was so fun. You get to do it on every podcast now until we run out of accounts to look up.
At Landon Autry, no underscore, better start tweeting so we can get some recaps of his.
Does Autry Landon have one?
He did for a while. Autry Landon's been retired.
It's so good.
But Landon underscore and Landon no underscore both still exist.
RIP. That was great. That is our brand new segment, Jordan Reads AI Tweets. Jordan Reads AI Tweets is brought to you by Artificial Intelligence Inc. Artificial Intelligence Inc. They're taking over. You can't stop them. All right.
Can I go to bed now?
Nope. You're needed for the rest of this podcast. Sorry.
That's it.
Dude, did you not? We discussed separately your pay increase for this podcast. You went from -$2 to $0 annual salary.
So who was he paying?
I don't know. But we have a bunch of topics because, the first time I wrote this podcast out, I had 2 ideas, and then you guys kept texting, "Oh, this happened and this happened." I was like, you know what? Let's just rattle off a bunch of stuff and talk about it. That's just how this thing works, anyway.
Yeah, this is Hunter's dream come true. All of us were saying, "No, Hunter, please make the podcast longer."
I know.
Yeah, 100%.
Well,
it's
so odd because I don't in my head. I'm like, oh, this is down season. And instead, there's a lot going on still. It's kind of dumb.
There's a lot.
In sports. Why is there so much happening right now?
I don't know. But where we're going to start is where we're going to shamelessly plug our brand new blog started by a wonderful special guest tonight, Grandma Cass. She has just started her WNBA blog, Ball and Baddies, and you could not have started it at a better time because the WNBA started this past weekend with an absolute.
Worse.
No, there's no better time
Depending
than now.
on how you view it.
Oh, dear Lord. Okay. Well, it started with a bang. The Indiana Fever in prime time on ABC murdered the Chicago Sky. But everyone, all they wanted to talk about was the Caitlin Clark foul on Angel Reese. Was it a flagrant foul? Is this rivalry still real, or is it just the media pushing the narrative to bump up ratings? let's get into it, Cass. We're going to let you take the floor and start us here. I just want to hear your thoughts on this. I know we've talked a little bit about it, but expand on what we've talked about and what do you think about everything that went down?
So I actually was out and about with my family on Saturday afternoon, and when I got back and turned the game on, it was literally in the break of them like reviewing this. And so it hits me with the replays, and the first thing I thought was, well, they're going to call it a flagrant because number one, it technically meets the criteria. I don't know if you've seen from the one main broadcast angle, like it definitely, there is flopping action by Angel Reese. But if you have watched any basketball at any level and you get touched, everyone is flopping. I literally hate it. I want to die when I watch people do it because, like, just be tough. Please. But anyway, Caitlin flops all the time. Also, everyone does it. My big thing is when you look, there's an angle from the other side of the court, and you could see it a little bit more in the angles they show. And Caitlin extends her left arm. And to me, that's where it goes excessive. The general arm over the two arms of Angel Reese, that is a hard foul. But her left arm that was making contact with the body pushed out, and that's where you are getting that call. Again, I think flagrant was the right call definition wise. I think it's a weak flagrant, but like I've seen, like just even in the NBA playoffs, have seen worse flagrants called. But this is the big thing is it should have been no story. If that happened between any two other players in any other game, no one's saying a word about it. And that's the issue. The only reason we're saying it is because it was Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And here's the thing. Caitlin Clark is very clearly the better basketball player. She has more range. She has more talent. That does not mean that's nothing to denigrate Angel Reese. And they play very different positions. Like, it's also a very hard thing, but the media decided to take a little wave of the face, a little "you can't see me" by Angel Reese in the national championship, and decided to conflate that into the rivalry we see today. It's not a rivalry. Also, like, the Sky aren't there yet. They have potential. Like, I really like that they added Courtney Vandersloot back, and like there's positives there. But the Chicago Sky have just a ways to go before it's a competitive rivalry. And again, the foul should have been nothing. It should have been nothing. It is a conflated story by the media, and unfortunately, due to no and again, this is not commentary on Caitlin, her fans are atrocious, most of them. You know, she's a phenomenal basketball player, but I don't know, a group of crazy white people who are just racist more than anything. Love to, and this is the thing, is like they say terrible and hateful stuff to Angel Reese, but like it was very much a story last year in the NBA that her same fans were saying terrible and racist things to like about Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell and other people on that team. Mm-hmm. And so and then it also, that incident piggybacked off the WNBA, like at the beginning of the season also announced, like basically like a stand up to hate type thing, like no tolerance. And then you have people like Dave Portnoy who are allowed to sit courtside. And he's been terrible about Angel Reese. Like, I don't like the guy to begin with. If people are into Barstool, whatever, do it. I'm not. But, like, I think for someone with as big of a platform as he has, and as loud and angry and gross he's been about Angel Reese, like, I don't think he should be allowed to go to games where she's playing. But, again, they are both elite basketball players. They both came in last year and set rookie records. They both, at the end of the season, held the marks for rebounding and assists. Like, rookies don't just come in and do that every year. And so you have to respect them for their game. And so, again, to me, it shouldn't be a story at all, because if it had happened between any other players, it absolutely would not be the story that it is. And unfortunately, because of the hate that Angel gets from Caitlin Clark fans, it becomes a very racial argument as well.
Yeah.
And so I just really think, I don't know how the WNBA or the Fever or the Sky can help address that. I've seen a couple people, and honestly, I hate the idea, but I also very much respect it, is they're like, Angel Reese doesn't go to Indiana anymore.
No, see, that's ridiculous. So I'll say my piece, Cass, is like, I think that I agree with you. By definition, it's a flagrant foul. It's by definition. What I don't like is that we're only seeing in replays now at this point. I mean, the game happened on Saturday. It's Tuesday as we're recording. All we're seeing is the foul from Caitlin. No one is showing the absolute extended push to the back of it. Was either Aaliyah Boston or DeWanna Bonner, one of the two.
Boston.
It was Aaliyah Boston. Okay. So Reese extends arms, pushes Boston under the basket. That's a foul. That's not called. And then that's what opens up the lane for Reese to get the offensive rebound and the easy putback. That's why Caitlin fouls. It's a hard foul. I don't think it was warranted of a flagrant, but I kind of respect the WNBA a little bit for calling that flagrant foul, because a lot of the problems that we saw last year were on the other side of the coin, where Caitlin Clark was getting just absolutely hammered each week, and they weren't calling anything more than a personal, or they weren't even calling fouls at all. So I do give the WNBA credit there for at least taking it seriously and going to the monitors there. As far as the other stuff, I'm not going to touch on it just because I feel like I have no right to do so anyway. The one thing I do want to say is that I don't think that the majority of Caitlin's fans that are on the bad side of this are the ones that are in the stadium. Because if you go back and you listen to the broadcast and you listen to things, I feel like the people that are in the crowd are little girls and families that are just fans of Caitlin Clark, that are just the in-person people that aren't going to say those slurs in person. They might be. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for the 15,000 people that were there, or 17,000, how many were there. But one thing I do think that is getting lost in the shuffle here is that when you watch the video, I don't know if you've seen it, of the Chicago Sky running onto the court, there were 3 or 4 people that were excited to see Angel Reese. And there were people excited to see Camila Cardoso. So, like, their fans are in Chicago, or their fans are in Indiana as well. There are fans that traveled. I saw a guy that is one of he makes his videos on TikTok interviewing fans outside of sporting events, and he was there and he was asking people, what's one word to describe Angel Reese? And there were a couple of Chicago Sky fans that got on his video because he was looking for Indiana Fever fans. There was a couple of Chicago Sky fans that went on there and said fearless. So, I mean, like, that's somebody right there that you need to point out as like, hey, there's support for Angel Reese in Indiana. There's going to be support for Caitlin Clark when she goes to Chicago. So, I mean, issues like this are why sports media sucks sometimes. I guess you can consider us a part of the problem because we're talking about it too. But I feel like as if we're trying to just downplay it because, like you said, these are 2 great basketball players. They play completely different games. if the one face thing doesn't happen, this is John Cena's fault, by the way. If John Cena never does this is never a thing. But if that doesn't happen, then this rivalry is not really a rivalry. It's just two players that are generational talents that just crossed paths in college one time, actually twice, and then that's it. And now they're crossing paths in the WNBA, but now every single time that they play, it's a marquee matchup. I haven't seen the ratings, but good on the WNBA for making that the primetime game to open up the season, because you had the Liberty play in the early slot on ABC, and then you had this game right behind it, and it has taken over the entire world for the last 4 days. So that's my thoughts on it. Anybody else want to chime in?
Yep, I sure do.
Go ahead.
I have seen the ratings, actually. Ratings for that game the other night were higher than MLB's most watched game of the weekend, which was Yankees-Mets.
Damn.
So there were more people watching that game. So here's the thing. Nobody's watching it for Angel Reese. This rivalry could be really, really, really good, like bird magic level of good for the WNBA, if Angel Reese could stop being such a baby about some stuff. Is it a flagrant foul? Yes, it is. There's a massive flop at the end. If she doesn't react the way she reacts, we're not talking about this 5 days later, whatever it is. If it's not, like Cass said, if it's not a white girl on a black girl crime, I still have yet to figure out why the WNBA is just crucifying the face of the league because she's straight and white. Like she can get everybody paid. Like you have to protect her a little bit. I thought the flagrant was the right call. I don't know how there wasn't more technical fouls assessed in that whole situation. But like,
it was kind of funny that Caitlin Clark didn't get a technical foul, but Aaliyah Boston did. That was weird.
Aaliyah Boston did not know she got a technical foul until the post-game presser.
There was no reason for Caitlin Clark to get a technical foul there. She fouled her and then walked away. Like
we're having this whole conversation because Ryan Clark talks too much about is this racially motivated. Caitlin Clark made the foul and turned around and walked away. She didn't even know what was going on until all of it had dissolved. Yeah. And now we're talking about, is Caitlin Clark, is this a racial thing for her? Did some idiot fan say something? Maybe, possibly. You can't blame Caitlin Clark for that.
No.
And here's my hottest take on this. What's the worst possible outcome there if Caitlin Clark doesn't foul? 3 Angel Reese rebounds in a row? Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, I don't like that narrative, though. Like, I get it. She gets a lot of offensive rebounds. She misses a lot of bunnies.
A lot.
But listen, like, I literally have watched any player do that. I watched plenty of people in the WNBA. I watched plenty of people in the men's league. You know?
Yeah, but not somebody who wants to be a face of the league. That's the difference there a little bit.
It's absurd to me, the jealousy that she has for Caitlin Clark. That is just outrageous.
Why do you think she's jealous? Has she come out and said she's jealous? Why are you putting that narrative of jealousy?
Cass, I think she hates her.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like,
I think you can see it in her face.
I a little bit feel like it. It just seems like
I don't know if she
30,000 feet.
She hates her that much, like, personally, but at least, like, on the court, she hates her.
It seems like it. It really
I don't know if that's
like
competitor, but it certainly feels like it's personal against one particular person.
It seems a little bit like it. It's an odd. I'm not really sure why it's a rivalry. Their teams are 1-1 against each other in college, in the postseason.
Well, like Hunter said, it started with the whole "you can't see me" stuff. And
I guess, but it's not like they guard each other. Like they don't.
Which, by the way, I didn't think that was a personal thing at the time.
No.
I
Let me talk about the "you can't see me" though, because I think that's what started. Again, it's what started everything. But if you go back, I mean, literally, the Timberwolves eliminated the Warriors a few nights ago, and they put something on social media about, like, night, because, like, that's Steph's little celebration.
I thought that was heat of the moment.
And
like,
it was heat of the moment. It was just, competitors being competitive.
100%.
And so But number one, this comes back to it being women. Women are not allowed to show emotion. They just aren't. Because you talk about her reaction and Caitlyn just walked away and all this stuff is like, to me, that doesn't mean Angel Reese has a problem and Caitlyn Clark is some like just on a pedestal of class.
Oh, I do think the media has done that to an extent for sure.
I'll back you on that, Cass. I'll back you on that.
And so like that's my thing is like she reacted. And I see that in any league, in football, in basketball, I mean, hell, like you see it in like baseball and volleyball and non-contact sports.
The other thing that nobody's
like
mentioned
there's
in this
that
whole thing,
flair of the dramatic and there's that flair of just
the other thing that no one's
passion.
mentioned is both players after the game said that's a basketball play. Like they were over it within like an hour.
Exactly.
No,
and no one else got over it. They're both over it, and no one else got over it.
I'm gonna throw this out there as largely an outsider that I certainly don't follow this. Zach was an Iowa fan, followed Caitlin Clark forever. Cass obviously much more of a WNBA fan than I am. So this is as an outsider, but I'm just gonna throw this narrative out there. I've said forever and ever that there's never been a draft pick, a number one draft pick in any sport that has exceeded expectations more than LeBron James. Caitlin Clark is about to rewrite that. She just takes everything in stride, good, bad, or indifferent.
She is going to change the sport if she hasn't already. The game is being played differently now because of her. Very Steph Curry-like in her impact of the sport. It's a different game now. It's a game that Angel Reese's game is a complete opposite of. And so that's why my rivalry with those two, it does not make sense to me. That's why they're so different. They're so different in how they play. One thing that has happened, the WNBA can claim that it's here now. There's dumb fans in the WNBA now, just like there are in every other popular sport. Welcome. You've arrived. Like, it's not just your diehard
if more people are watching
WNBA fans.
If more people are watching that than the Yankees and the Mets.
Yeah, there's dumb people watching.
But that's what's happened. Your quote-unquote casual fan is here now. And so you got a lot of dumb fans because there are dumb fans in every popular sport. And now we have hit that in the WNBA. And I fully believe the ratings have never been this high. This sport, the NBA playoffs took 2 days off. They were like, you know what? Let's let them start their season. That's a massive deal. That's a massive deal. The this is as big as this sport could ever want to be. And it's as someone who's from Iowa, I will always be accused of being biased towards this, but I can't begin to say how much of this is because of Caitlin Clark. She is changing the sport in ways that in ways that Lisa Leslie did when this thing launched. Like that's what's happening is the impact she's making on it. And so she's changing the sport and the consequence is you're going to have some dumbass fans now. Like, be ready because there's going to be people saying dumb shit, just like they do in football and in the NBA and in Major League Baseball. And in Major League Baseball, it's the people that run the sport. But
well, here's my quick thing because I haven't really talked about this yet. I'm very much so an outsider on this. I am not going to sit here and claim that I watch the WNBA. I don't even watch the NBA. I don't follow professional basketball at all. So
You telling me you don't watch FIBA?
I don't watch professional basketball. I watch college basketball, and I've watched a little bit of women's college basketball. and obviously I started watching more women's basketball, more college women's basketball when Caitlin Clark was at Iowa. So obviously I know about the rivalry that they've had since their college days. My opinion, just from an outsider's perspective, is that it seems like Angel Reese is like obsessed with Caitlin Clark to a certain degree. It seems like Caitlin Clark is like going about her business, and then there are moments like this where Angel Reese like overreacts maybe to certain things that happen. And that's not to say that she can't be passionate or anything, because Caitlin Clark is passionate as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I just get that vibe sometimes that she might be obsessed with Caitlin Clark. That's just the vibe that I get.
I'll piggyback. I'll say my last things on it, and I'll let Cass finish us out here. I agree with Zach and you, Cameron. I don't think it's necessarily a thing of Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark hates Angel Reese. I just think the difference between the two is that you never see clips of Caitlin making a statement that's outlandish or making a statement about the other, because I feel like she just says next question, or I'm not going to talk about that, and move on. But where there are multiple clips of Angel, I don't want to say losing her cool, because she's very composed when it comes to making these statements, because she knows what she's saying. It's just she wants to make her statement and make herself be known. And I don't fault her for that at all. She's on the cover of Reese's Puffs. She has a meal at McDonald's. Like, she's a star too. So, but I think where the rivalry continues to get that juice is that Caitlin doesn't say much, but Angel keeps it going with her verbal jabs, because she knows how to throw them and she's smart about when she does. And then while we're talking about this, the Fever just got upset by the Atlanta Dream. So I just thought that was funny how we're talking about Caitlin Clark's changing the league or whatever. The Indiana Fever have a little ways to go too. So, I mean, they're going to be a fun team to watch this year, but they're not the best team in the W. That best team in the W is still in New York City. So it's going to be.
I disagree with you there.
Okay, we'll talk. Well, hey, read Ball and Baddies if you want to know Cass's takes about who's the best team in the W. I think it's a Liberty, but I do watch the WNBA now because of Caitlin Clark, and I'm not ashamed to admit that at all. I watch it for that, and then also too, I have a daughter, so I mean, like, I know she's young, but I want her to see female athletes. We watch a lot of softball. We watch a lot of WNBA. Any kind of female sports that we can find that we're into, we're going to throw it on the TV. So, I mean, that's a big motivation factor for me too. So I don't want to see this continue to get ugly. I want to see the W grow, because it's more opportunity for women in the future. That's just my last piece on it, and I'll let Cass close it out.
I want to jump in before we go back to Cass for a sec.
Okay.
I want to play devil's advocate for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Angel Reese totally hates Caitlin Clark. Let's say it's a mutual thing. Isn't that good for the league?
Huge.
I'm going to watch baseball when the Red Sox and Yankees want to fight each other. I'm going to watch the Lakers and the Celtics when they want to knock each other's teeth out. I'm going to watch whoever the Dallas Cowboys claim as their rivalry that week.
Jordan, I agree, but I agree because all of those things are obviously conflicts that have helped in other leagues. But this one is so different because for whatever reason, it has become so racial with the media, and that's
not necessarily have anything to do with the players.
No, I agree. I agree with what you're saying, but this is not good for the league. The fact that it's becoming so racial.
I agree with that part.
The Red Sox and Yankees hating each other, and the Cowboys playing, the division rival, like, that's awesome, because that's like hatred, great rivalries, and this has the potential to be that. And I think that's where you're coming from, is that this has the potential to be that, but it's not, because people are spinning it a certain way.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Does it really have the potential to be that?
I think so. I really do.
For what it is.
When I say name me a WNBA rivalry, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
I don't know.
There aren't.
Yeah.
The
The
Houston
WNBA
go back.
equal
I
pay.
think-
That's the rivalry that comes to mind.
Yeah, the first one that comes. Well, honestly, the first one. If you want a rivalry, Storm Phoenix back in the day. That
Yeah, but
was
how long
they
ago has
had a
that been?
rivalry. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to get the attention.
I'd rather see it be two people who play the same position.
That's
too.
That's the basketball world we live in, though. LeBron James invented positionless basketball.
I guess, but like Caitlin's never going to go post up against Angel Reese. You know, they don't guard each other.
I just think
that's
that
where I'm like, this is weird.
I just think that the more that this is driven, Cameron, you're right. If you can contain the stupid aspects of it, the unnecessary parts of it, I think the rest of it's great for the WNBA.
I mean, yeah, and Caitlin hit 2 more logo threes on Tuesday night. Like,
And I think what's even bigger
different.
than that for the league is Tyrese Halliburton's in the middle of a playoff series and he's sitting on the front row. That's huge for the league, man.
Oh, how big is it for that state right now?
Well, I think that's really. I do really think that's why they were so specific in where they've put these expansion teams, like the Golden State Valkyries had their opener, and Steve Kerr is courtside, and Kevon Looney was courtside. It wasn't Steph Curry, but Steph Curry's hurt and they're out of the playoffs, so who the hell knows where he is? Probably playing golf. But I think you're right.
He's the GM for Davidson.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Y'all remember? He's also the producer of Holy Moly, the reality.
Is that still on TV?
I don't know, the reality mini putt competition where you had to putt and then play Wipeout to go get your ball.
That's Hunter's next show.
Oh, very bad.
Hunter, did you just say mini putt?
Mini.
Yeah,
MANY.
Mini golf, mini putt. Yeah.
No matter what, they had 3 million viewers, like, for opening day in the W. Like, that's a win for that league by
10 times over.
I mean, come on. It's May, whatever it was, 15th or something. Come on now. Like, this is as big as this league has ever been. That was their best viewership numbers. Maybe not ever, but probably
pretty close.
I mean, probably
are you eating
25
pretzels right now?
So,
well,
big pretzel stick.
Cass, do you have anything else?
I thought you were smoking a doobie there.
Is it from Wetzel's?
We're talking about Wetzel's pretzels now. Cass, you got
Actually,
anything else, or you want to? Because I got another basketball topic for us.
If Dots is listening.
No, I mean, all I got is I think Jordan's right. I think the rivalry is good for the league, and personally, I don't care if they hate each other personally. I know a lot of basketball players that hate each other personally, and they talk about it openly on the television.
On the television, I like that.
On the television,
we're gonna edit out the Jordan was right part, but I'm gonna leave everything else in.
That's fine. That's fine.
It doesn't happen very often. I'm married.
I am gonna pass it over to Jordan though, because I got another basketball topic for us. Because Jordan wanted to talk about this because he's such a basketball guy.
Come on with it. I'm here for this.
This happened a couple weeks ago. Obviously, we hadn't recorded in a while, so we're a little bit late to the party on this one. But Jordan wanted to talk about it. The question I'm asking you, Jordan, was the NBA draft rigged? Obviously, Dallas famously has traded away Luka to the Lakers, and then somehow they landed the number 1 pick in the NBA draft lottery.
It's a mystery how it happened.
Which is the dumbest way to do a
It's
professional
definitely
draft
never happened before.
ever. I hate the lottery so much. So they got the number 1 pick in the draft lottery. They have a chance to draft Cooper Flagg. The Mavs going into the lottery had the 10th worst odds, and yet somehow ended up with the first overall pick. Landon's happy because I'm sure he's a Mavs fan and lives in Dallas. Jordan's kind of like, I want to tear this apart. So, Jordan, take it away.
For the record, I just don't care about professional basketball.
Okay,
listen. When Anthony Davis
to our NBA fan, he actually cares a lot.
So much.
When Anthony Davis got traded to the Lakers, you know who got the number 1 pick that year?
Pelicans or wherever the hell he was.
Traded Anthony Davis.
New Orleans.
Crazy.
When Chris Paul got traded to the Clippers, you know who got the number 1 pick that year?
Also the Pelicans.
Weird.
Crazy.
So, I did a little homework, and I'm trying to find this because I was having this conversation
Do
But in the last couple,
New York when they got when they got Patrick Ewing, they rigged that draft too.
that was the first draft lottery that they had done.
First ever draft.
Shaquille O'Neal came out the other day and basically said, David Stern. What's his name? David Stern.
David Stern.
At the time asked me, where do you want to play? You want to play where it's hot or where it's cold? He said, I want to play in Orlando. And Orlando just magically came up with the number one pick. LeBron James left the Cavaliers, and 2 years in a row, Cleveland got the number one pick. When the NBA was trying to convince people that basketball in San Antonio was worth watching, David Robinson and Tim Duncan both just magically appeared out of thin air.
Magic.
All I'm saying is nobody even cares if it's rigged. Just stop denying it at this point.
And they're not even hiding it. They call the Orlando team the Magic.
Well, I don't think they've even been denying it. David Stern, may he rest in peace, has arguably the worst move from a commissioner I've ever seen when he vetoed the trade that would have sent Chris Paul to the Lakers.
Chris Paul to the Lakers.
I remember as a kid.
Well, hold on, there's a convenient detail you're missing there, and that was that the NBA was running the team that Chris Paul wasn't allowed to be traded from.
Right.
Definitely not rigged.
The Hornets, yeah. Which were the New Orleans Hornets at the time.
They were.
They're in Wake Forest.
R.I.P.
I cannot believe that he did that so openly and vetoed that trade. And so all of the stuff that's happening now does not shock me whatsoever.
That's true.
Also, I don't know how nobody buys. It seems like every year this comes up. Well, this is rigged. Some years it probably is. The NBA has a surefire number one pick way more often than the NFL, certainly more often than MLB. Do you think that they might have wanted a guy that played games in Madison Square Garden in the Big East to play for the Knicks? Of course they would. This is a league where a referee openly admitted to betting on games that he was officiating and then later said he wasn't the only one doing it. When David Stern and Adam Silver get asked, go find the Jim Rome episode where Jim Rome says, was the fix in? And David Stern responds with something just outlandish that's a non-answer because he doesn't want to answer it. I'm not saying they do it all the time, but I'm saying the NBA is about to have their 7th different champion in 7 seasons. It's a pretty good way to create some parity.
For the first time ever.
Well, yeah. And here's another thing. The lottery for the NBA is massive. 14 teams. Like, by the time you get to the end of the lottery, those are teams that are like decent. Good. Like they're really not that bad.
Yeah, well,
you mean like
that? A team like that could luck into Cooper Flag.
You mean like made the finals a year ago and were just outside of the playoffs this year?
Right. Like a team like that could end up with a guy like Cooper Flag. So if you don't think the NBA has some sort of control over that, like I don't know.
The Spurs were terrible for the first time in 2 decades, and this 7-foot god comes to their team.
The 7-foot French god with at the time a head coach known for coaching up international players.
With a jump shot and athletic ability, like
I'm just saying,
unicorn.
I'm not saying it's happening. I'm just saying that there's an awful lot of coincidences with that league.
Hang a banner.
No, it's rigged. We're not really big basketball guys. Jordan wanted to rip it apart. I think he did a good job. It's definitely rigged. I don't know. The NBA sucks. That's why I don't watch the NBA. So I watch the WNBA more than I watch the NBA. The NBA just sucks.
Spoiler alert. Draft is the most exciting part of the season.
Spoiler alert, college hoops is becoming the same thing.
Yeah, it is. Go Indiana Pacers. I'll pick them to win the NBA Finals.
I love that it's the Pacers. Like what? The Knicks, who haven't been relevant forever in my lifetime. The Timberwolves and the Thunder. Like
you're telling me right now that the NBA, you're telling me the NBA isn't absolutely rooting for the Knicks to take this thing? Their biggest
absolutely.
New York is going to burn to the ground.
Well, I got to do this.
Win.
I was going to bring it up later. I'll bring it up now because I don't really care. For the first time since 1990 something, the Western Conference Finals will not be played in the state of Texas or California.
I saw that. That's insane.
Come on, that's insane.
That's good for the league.
Since 1996.
That's wild.
That's great for your league.
I got your Western Conference Finals in '96. If you have it handy,
but think about. Oh yeah,
Houston?
go for it. Who was it?
I think
they're in Texas.
The Supersonics lost to Jordan in '96, right? So then that would mean it would have been the Supersonics in Seattle, and then the Jazz in Utah.
I was going to say Utah, right?
There you go. But
I think that's right.
You had a dynasty in San Antonio. You had a dynasty with Golden State. Like obviously the Lakers were pretty good.
Who were they?
So yeah.
I don't know, some purple and gold team.
Team that used to be
plays.
They're from Minneapolis.
A lot of lakes in Los Angeles.
The team Luka's known for. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's crazy that they're finally getting this parody that they wanted.
Listen,
we'll for sure
I might have to try and sneak down and see if I can get into a game in Oklahoma City. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but that is my favorite NBA team.
I did know that, yeah.
I want to see Grandma Cass boots on the ground for Press Box After Dark in the Western Conference Finals.
There you go.
I need to see it.
I'll see what I can do.
Landon hasn't talked in an hour, so I want to give him his time to shine here in this one golf topic that I have. So Landon, pay attention. Scottie Scheffler won the 2025 PGA Championship at Quail Hollow a year after being arrested before last year's PGA Championship second round at Valhalla Golf Club in Louisville, Kentucky. A real rags to riches story. Landon, give me your thoughts on Scottie Scheffler, and I have a fun stat for you too to segue you in here. The PGA Tour actually tweeted this out and deleted it, but screenshots last forever. Scottie Scheffler has 15 tour wins since 2022. The Carolina Panthers have 14 wins as a football team.
Ooh.
That is fucking atrocious.
How many wins does the Colorado Rockies have?
Probably not
less
that
than that.
Yeah, similar numbers.
Landon, did you watch the PGA Championship? I didn't get to see a single second of it.
I did. I was, of course, driving.
But Landon, am I right though? Like, if you could have like watched a lot of it on Sunday.
Yep.
You could have probably fallen asleep, and you could have woken up, and you would have thought nothing happened.
Yep.
Because Scottie had this huge lead, and you could have fallen asleep when it got interesting. But then it didn't. But then it wasn't interesting after that.
So what was interesting was his Sunday round. I mean, like you're saying, Zach, he missed left, I think 9 out of the first 11 fairways.
Ooh.
If I'm remembering that correctly, it was bad. Like he didn't hit a
bowling level.
And the best part about it is they kept going back to DeChambeau of like, oh, he's might get there, and then he just crapped the bed because he's used to playing 54 holes. So it's just one of those things. It's like
guy mashes golf balls though.
I was waiting. I kept following the scoreboard, and John Rahm was right there.
Yeah.
He was like a stroke back or whatever, and then he finished in like 8th.
Yeah.
I was like,
he
what
just
happened?
Fell off the wagon at the end.
I was watching that in the basketball game, and Game 7 of the Denver Oklahoma City was a disaster. There was a blowout from the start. And then the golf tournament was terrible too. So I was like, okay, this sucks.
So it was funny because I was watching the post game stuff. Obviously, Scottie's little son Bennett is now just over a year old, and he was talking about how he took his first flight at 8 days old.
Oh my god!
Because his manager called his wife and was like, "Hey, I don't know if he's going to be able to leave on Monday, so I guess y'all should come here because he's freaking on bail."
Dude, when I saw that tweet, my first thought was like, it's been a year since that happened?
Yeah.
It feels like it's been like a couple of months, man.
It was crazy, too, because that happened
it's been
actually
6 years.
that actually happened on my birthday last year, and one of my coworkers was like, "Oh yeah, Scottie Scheffler got arrested." I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "What?" And
also, I feel like just because I don't know, when I look at him, maybe it's the beard. I don't know. I feel like he's like 40.
Yeah,
and he's definitely younger than me.
He's 28.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He
it's
is
the
going.
receding hairline.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, and he's
wouldn't know
looked that
anything
way
about
since he started in the tour like 5 or 6 years ago.
That's just
But the amount of focus it takes. One, you hear all the stories from last year about him just like warming up in the jail cell. You know, like he fully believed, he's like, this is going to be fine. I'm going to be back on the course and I'm going to make it for my tee time, which he did. And he's just warming up. Like the mental capacity to do that is crazy to me. And then to win this year, I think was awesome.
Yeah, I think it's awesome the era that we're in right now. Number one, there's so much good competition in golf now. When there wasn't, maybe back in like the 90s and the Tiger Woods era. But I feel like people look at the Tiger Woods era and they're like, when are we going to get like another Tiger? And Tiger was obviously a generational talent in golf, arguably the best golfer ever. But you think about Tiger's run and how good he was in the early 2000s and partially the late 2000s as well. You go from Tiger to Rory. Now Rory just won a major, but Rory's on the back half of his career. I think Scottie's the next person up, and we're already in the Scottie era right now. It's already been going on for the past 2 or 3 years, in my opinion. But I think he is taking over as the new face of golf. And that shouldn't really be a surprise to anyone because, like I said, he's been doing that for the past couple years. But it's pretty cool to see because he's also he is a good person to have as the face of golf.
And I think it's a different era, like you said, because when Tiger did his thing, I will argue no one has done anything for a sport more than Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
No one in the history of the planet has done any more for one sport than Tiger has done for golf.
Yeah.
He made that. I mean, he changed what that sport is. But now you're seeing the benefits of it. I feel like it took a little bit for his dominance to fall off a little bit. And now you're seeing the studs that were little kids when he was great that are now, they played golf at 2 because of Tiger Woods. You know what I mean?
I was just looking it up. So Tiger, obviously we know he held the number 1 position for 683 weeks.
That's insane.
281 of that were consecutive weeks.
How many years is that, Hunter?
Enough.
At least
I don't even know.
At least 4.5.
6.
I looked this up right before we came on. Scottie's already at 140.
That's crazy.
So Scottie's at 140, but 104 of that has been consecutive. He still needs to hold the number 1 for 10 and a half years.
That's insane.
To reach Tiger.
That's
546 more weeks.
You're telling me my math was wrong?
Insane. Your math is always wrong. That's insane.
That is insane.
Like we're in a new era of golf, and I don't know if anybody's going to be as dominant as Tiger ever. Scottie could be the one to do that, but 10 and a half years is a long time, guys.
Oh yeah, and he doesn't need to be for that sport anymore.
Yeah.
We don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
Now the sport's got
Absolutely.
so many mega stars. It's
Yeah.
awesome. It's
and
awesome.
so it does create the competition at the top of the golf rankings of is somebody going to beat out Scottie? And I think that's good for the game because will we ever get a Live PGA merger? I don't know. We can go down that road at some point on this podcast of what Trump is trying to do, but it's ultimately it's good for the game that split did happen because now it's created this competition. So Love it. That's my 3 cents on the subject.
I love it. Hey, a real rags to riches story. A former felon wins the PGA championship. Don't tell me the U.S. justice system doesn't work.
Hey, it's technically expunged off his record, so it didn't
my
happen.
bad. Yeah,
unlike Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Unlike Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll is a true rags to riches.
Well,
Somebody save me.
Me from myself.
Oh, Landon's singing now. Wow.
It wouldn't be a podcast without some of us singing.
Yeah, Cameron has to sing on every podcast for sure.
I beg to differ.
I got one more. I got one more joke, and then I'll move on here. That I think is the Well, no, I guess Tiger Woods did have his run-ins with the law. I was about to say it was about time the PGA finally got a criminal at the top of the leaderboards there, because they really needed it like the NFL. So there you go. But
didn't his wife chase him down the driveway or something? Then he ran into a tree or something.
Yes.
South Park turned it into a video game.
Yeah, it was great.
Of course they did.
Of course they did. It was great.
Why wouldn't they?
Landon, very good stuff on the golf, but I know Jordan and Cameron have been waiting for this topic for a while. We're going to move over to Major League Baseball here. The Subway Series.
Rockies.
We're going to talk about anything but the Rockies. The Subway Series happened this past weekend. It was Juan Soto's return to, I guess it wasn't a return to New York. He plays in New York. Return to Yankee Stadium. I posed this question in the group, and both Jordan and Cameron said, I want to talk about this. So here was my question that I posed to you guys. Are the Mets getting their money's worth so far on the Juan Soto deal? His lackluster effort was talked about in the Subway Series over this past weekend, questioning and debating his desire to play for the Mets. So I'm going to open the floor up to you guys. Is the Juan Soto deal good so far, bad so far? What do you think?
Can I go first on this one, Cam?
You have to.
Sure.
I don't have to.
Yeah.
You're an MLB guy.
Three down guy.
So, first of all, the fact that you're asking that question 7 weeks into the biggest contract the sport's ever given out is probably not a great situation. Like, we're wondering if he's hustling enough 7 weeks into his $800 million deal. First of all, a lot of this came from Michael Kay, who literally is a Yankees broadcaster who said things like, Soto isn't hustling. He doesn't have the same vibes. He was, the happiest he was the whole weekend was when he was hugging Aaron Judge in pregame. I don't know if I buy all that. I think there's some frustrations because the Mets just haven't played particularly well as of late. I did say in 3 Up, 3 Down when he signed that contract that Juan Soto was kind of a pedestrian player to be getting that kind of a deal. But, man, the guy, there's all this stuff about his family wanted him to be a Met and he really wanted to be a Yankee. We don't know what's true, what's not. It feels very strange, like it's all kind of coming out of somewhere, but nobody really knows where, and none of it's really coming from Soto. I do think he needs to hustle to first a little bit better. Maybe don't pimp singles, but other than that, I don't know, man. It just feels weird and gross. Like the Yankees took 2 of 3 and then started making hype videos about beating the Mets. This is still the Mets, man. What are we talking about here? I know Cam's a fan of a team in that division, so he's probably got a little bit different Soto perspective, but this feels like if this was Kansas City and St. Louis, that nobody's talking about this. This feels like it's magnified times a million because it's New York.
Yeah, the Yankees should never care about the Mets. They just shouldn't.
Yeah, I think that's kind of weird. But I mean, if we're just talking about Soto here, you mentioned that I'm a fan of the team of another team in the division. I'm a Braves fan. So since he's been in the league, I mean, it's been all about our rivalry with him. It was him and Acuna when they first came into the league, and then he had a great start to his career in Washington, and so I've always hated playing against him, but obviously I've always respected that he's a really good player. But yeah, I just this weekend is interesting. The internet's been all over him, but I think rightfully so. He goes he goes back to Yankee Stadium, and he just looked off. The chopping it up with Aaron Judge, I don't care about any of that kind of stuff. That's you should expect to see that wherever you go for a Major League Baseball game. That I don't care about any of that. And they were teammates, so I would expect that.
Not Juan Soto shuffle the whole weekend though.
There's nothing wrong with him. Well, it's because he was striking out instead of walking. He went 1 for 10 at the plate. And then out in the field, he's hearing it from the grandstands in right field. They were turning their back on him. And then we already talked about it. He was shown a lack of hustle. He's now grounded into 9 double plays this season. Last year, we're not even a third of the way through the season, by the way, and he's grounded into 9 double plays. Last year for the Yankees, he only grounded into 10 the entire season. So we are shattering that very early on this season. But
he also doesn't have Aaron Judge hitting in front of him anymore.
True.
Kind of plays a factor.
But you lose the series to the Yankees, whatever. You move on to Boston, and you already hinted at it with pimping the single. It should have been an opportunity for him to take a deep breath, move on. I'm sure that date on that weekend in New York was circled on his calendar. He wanted to perform well. He didn't. And going to Boston should have been a breath of fresh air for him. Let's get out of New York. Let's go up and let's take care of business against a team that's struggling right now. And he did the exact opposite. He lines a ball into left field, immediately pimps it, and he forgets that there's a 30-foot wall in left field and not barely gets to first base, but he's rounding first base as the camera pans to him. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, you just got vilified on Twitter and on Instagram, whatever, in all of sports media for not hustling in the Yankees series. And then your very first game in the series against Boston, you do the exact same thing. So that frustrated me. I'm like, because again, I respect him as a player and I don't wish anything bad on him. I'm like, dude, you gotta take the attention away from yourself at some point. And I feel like he just keeps bringing it right back onto himself. But here's how I can defend Soto a little bit. You clearly can't judge the guy off of just 4 games. If you zoom out, he's still having a decent season. It's early. He can turn it around. And even after his slow start, he is still on pace for a season with over 5 WAR, wins above replacement. And anyone in their right mind would take that. That's a really good baseball player to have over 5 WAR in a season. Here's the problem, though. They just paid him they signed him to the largest professional sport, not even just baseball, the largest professional sports contract ever, with $765 million over 15 years. This year alone, he's making over $120 million in cash. That's over double the next closest person. So I'm going to break down some of the numbers here for you. $120 million this year, that's an average of about $780,000 per game that he's making. So in the Yankee series alone, where he played terribly, Soto made about $500,000 more than all of his first 3 seasons with the Nationals combined.
Ugh.
Did that sink in? Those 3 games against the Yankees, he made more money playing in those 3 games against the Yankees than he made in his first 3 pre-arbitration seasons for the Nationals. To put things further in perspective, Paul Skeens made $740,000 last year. Obviously, Paul Skeens is worth more than that, but my point is that Juan Soto makes more than the minimum MLB yearly salary every single time that he puts on a uniform, and it seems like he's just completely lost in the batter's box. Now, look, everybody knows that he has weak defense. He has terrible speed, and he's got a poor arm as well. That's a given. Everyone knows about that and has known about that since he entered the league in 2018. But he's built his career on and signing this contract. He has built his career and signed this contract on the basis that he has one of the best eyes that baseball has ever seen. He has an elite plate approach, and ultimately he's a great hitter. But if he's struggling to do those things for the Mets, then
in May,
I struggle to see where he gives them any value. And if that keeps up, I think the next 15 years are going to be very painfully, or they're going to be very painful from a financial perspective for the Mets. He could very easily turn into the next Bobby Bonilla if he doesn't improve things at the plate, because everywhere else in his game is very lackluster.
Can't top that at all, dude. That was so well said. Holy shit.
Hunter, you are muted.
Hunter, you're
talking.
muted. I don't know if you're trying to talk to us.
That was not my doing.
Yeah, it wasn't. I muted myself because I just want to let Cameron talk. The only thing I'm going to add, Cameron, is that so I pulled up his stats just to kind of see where he was at this year and then compare, obviously, everything he's done in his career. I find it very funny. We're 47 games into the season right now that he's played with the Mets. He played 47 games in Washington during the COVID season, so the same exact amount of games. Every single category across the board, much high, not much higher, but higher when he was in Washington during the COVID season than it is right now. So, like, that leads me to believe, like, you're not improving, you're declining. It's not like a drastic drop off. The stats aren't that bad, but, like, it just took me for just a loop that, like, every single category he was better back then in that shortened COVID season than he is right now for the amount of money he's making that you just laid out.
Yeah, I mean, he's still above average.
Mm-hmm.
Even
he's still going to give you 40 ding dogs.
Even with the bad season that he's having so far, like, he's still above average. Now, I don't know if he's going to get to 40. He's only at 8 right now, but
he's fine. Put the needle in.
Yeah, right. But that's my thing, though. Like, he can definitely turn it around, but it is very concerning that you just signed him to the largest sports contract ever, and he's hitting 240 right now, and he seems to have some apathy.
Yeah, because he was hitting. So back in the COVID season, same amount of games. At this time, he was hitting 351, and he's hitting 246 right now. That's just
Do you
that's
know
wild.
how insane your contract demands have to be for the New York Yankees to be like, nah, we're good? The team notorious for stealing other teams' players and overpaying them said, no thanks. They did, however, turn that into Max Fried and Cody Bellinger, who had a really nice weekend.
Yeah, very good weekend, very good turnout for the Yankees on that one. So I feel like they're still doing fine. The Yankees are going to Yankees. It's fine, good for them. Anything else, Jordan, Zach, Cameron on Juan Soto?
Man, it's his third team in 3 years. I think it's too soon to say that he's, going to be a bust or whatever, but he certainly is not playing very well right now.
No. I will say this, though. I'm going to shout out 3 Up, 3 Down. Jordan hit on some of these points that we're making right now back when the contract got announced. So go to PressBoxAfterDark.com and start reading 3 Up, 3 Down if you want to know what you're talking about Major League Baseball, because Jordan's always on the money with that. So go check out his blog.
It's the best baseball blog no one reads, for sure.
100%. I've said it multiple times to all of us in the groups, like, if this podcast ever goes big, then that's awesome, but we probably won't, but it's not for lack of talent. We have talent here. It's not me. It's the rest of you guys, but we definitely have talent here. Jordan's blog is great. Go check it out. Zach, I'm passing it over to you to lead us in this next discussion, because Zach said in a text today he said, "Oh man, all this great stuff that's going on in sports, and NFL news just dropped." And I said, "What NFL news?" And then maybe like 2 seconds later, I figured out what he was talking about. So the NFL owners just voted, I think today, literally today as we're recording, to allow NFL players the chance to play flag football in the 2028 Olympics. The question I want you to answer, Zach, how screwed is the rest of the world right now?
Yeah, stupid question. Yeah. No, it's awesome.
There's no point in anyone else even competing. You're going to tell me some dude from Albania is going to be able to grab the flag from Lamar Jackson? No shot.
What I know for sure is if you put Lamar Jackson, Tyreek Hill on the same field, I don't know if there's a mercy rule in this sport, but they might consider one.
Bro, watch out for Kazakhstan. Those poor corners in Mongolia, they're going to be running circles around the field trying to find Tyreek Hill.
Oh, my God.
No, it's true. I mean,
it's so true. It's so true.
Pick one player from any team. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Here's
matter.
the thing. You don't even need Patrick Mahomes there. Like,
honestly, no, not for flag football. I would want.
You don't even need to take the best guys to be the most competitive team out there. It's an American sport, and Americans are more competitive than anybody in the world in sports.
You could take a high school team, maybe damn near a middle school team, and win the gold medal.
Ooh, no, I don't think you. High school team, yeah. You can take IMG Academy. I bet they'd win it. Yeah,
dude.
All I know is
I think IMG Academy's 8th grade team could beat them.
Look, Dallas just traded for Joe Milton. Go take that dude and put him.
Yo, give me any 8th grade team versus North Korea.
And Cameron's house just got blown up.
Seriously. Nobody's listening anyways.
They hate us because they ain't us.
The clip that everybody saw on Twitter for weeks about with the quarterback from this thing.
That we talked about
elbow like up near his ear before he threw the football. Like, that's your star guy?
Yes.
Like Cooper Rush can give you that, dude. What are we talking about?
Oh, dude,
if Lamar Jackson and Tyreek Hill are on the same field at the same time, there are not Olympic athletes that can catch them. They are unreal.
I would be excited to go look position by position and say, okay, who would I want from our NFL, and then put that team together. It's
I'm curious who actually signs up to go do it and who kind of waits.
Yeah, 28 Olympics in LA.
Well, so my question also here is, like, who are the other countries that are going to be like the next best? Like, obviously we're going to win the gold, but like, who are the next best teams? Like Canada probably. Like, maybe the rugby countries like Australia and New Zealand might have some good teams.
Sure. Canada will put one together.
Sneaky one, Japan. Japan has a growing football league over there that is actually really good.
I would assume Mexico will try to do something.
Yeah.
Canada. We mentioned Canada.
We're just naming countries.
Like Morocco? No way, bro. No way.
Luxembourg. Our one listener in Morocco is fucking pissed right now.
Puerto Rico is going to have your head, Cameron.
Yeah,
the Vatican, the new Pope is going to cover Tyreek Hill.
I mean, Montana? What do they do?
Chicago.
I think it would be more entertaining if, like, the NFL, like, all the players that signed up, they randomly get assigned to a team, and we just do a tournament of that instead of the other nations play. Like, that would be awesome. Also, too, I said it in the group, I want to see the U.S. flag team, like the best flag football players we have to offer. I want them to play the NFL selected representatives. I want to see that so freaking bad. Just to see
I have a proposal for this here podcast.
Okay.
I propose that once the field is announced, that we all draft the remaining teams in the flag football thing, and nobody can draft the United States.
So you just get points for coming in second. I like it.
That's what everybody else is playing for in the world.
100%.
What's the point differential going to be in these games?
Like Josh Allen is not going to go do this. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow are not going to go do this.
It's going to be way
Gardner
worse.
Minshew might.
Shador is probably available.
The margins are going to be so much worse than like 92 Dream Team. Like it's not even going to be funny
because at least other countries play basketball. Who's playing?
Yeah, and the Dream Team got those points 1, 2, and 3 at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not 6 and 7 at a time.
I feel like these countries are going to show up and they're going to be like, "Oh, we're playing football," and they bring out a soccer ball, and then they're like, "Oh shit, there's flags. What are the flags for?"
Oh my god, what are their flags for? Oh man!
All I know is, look, especially if you get really good players, really good NFL players, like guys that are used to film and weight room and running routes and super disciplined, this is their professional job, they're going to destroy random locksmith guy from Iraq. They just are.
Iraq.
Like,
dude,
dude that lives in caves is not defending Jamar Chase.
Dude, I can't wait
that ass up.
I can't wait for like the Cool Runnings version of this movie because there's going to be one country that's never played football before, and they're going to send 7 guys over here, and it's going to be a great Disney movie one day. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, El Salvador.
Yeah, and they're going to finish in 9th place and call it a success.
Well, in the Disney movie, they're going to come in 3rd, and it's because of an overtime loss or something. So just wait for that.
God.
Oh my gosh, that was fantastic. What do you think
the other teams will be able to field a kicker though?
No, there's no kicking in flag football. We took out the one advantage they had.
All right, well, fuck that. Never mind.
Listen,
the one advantage they had was like, oh, we play soccer, we can kick a ball, and we're like, nah, not in flag.
We're not letting you use your foot. It's football.
That's the most American thing ever. Listen, here's the thing. I said this about like Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss for years. Those dudes were so crazy talented, they didn't have to call plays. They would get to the huddle, and Randy Moss would go, "Hey, bro, I'm going to run toward the end zone, see if you can throw it that far."
Literally.
That's literally what Olympic flag football is going to be if you let NFL players play.
If Tyreek's out there, see if somebody can catch him and just throw.
Here's the thing. Let's say Tyreek is out there. Who's playing on the opposite side of the field of Tyreek Hill?
Jefferson,
Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, right.
You can't double everybody.
That's so bad. Oh, it's just not fair. It's so not fair.
Awesome.
These little 5'6" dudes from random countries in Asia are going to be defending those guys. Listen,
be great.
Listen, side pitch. This is a perfect scenario for Andrew Luck and Calvin Johnson. They don't have contract obligations. They don't have injuries to worry about, and they can still go out and win a gold medal.
Dude, you just wait till Brett Favre's like, I'm playing quarterback for us, bitch.
Felon.
Hey, that's what we need on this team. Yeah.
Imagine stealing from the poorest country, the poorest state in the entire country. That's Brett Favre.
He did that. He's got a Copperfit deal. He's gonna try to like find a way on this team. I know he is.
He's got to retire first.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. Yeah. Brett
Favre might
be
be something. Shedeur Sanders might be a gold medalist very soon.
Could be.
Only thing he can excel in.
That would be leveling the playing field, is trotting Shedeur Sanders out there.
It is kind of cool that, like, that sport now you can go win a gold medal like you can in other sports. That'd be cool. Like,
I love that Americans just continue to push the Olympic Committee. Like, hey, please put baseball and softball back in. Also, some version of American football would be awesome.
I want disc golf.
Dude, disc golf's hard, man. That's hard. We're such a good podcast, dude.
I apologize. I was eating, and so I had muted myself. I actually looked up the flag football world rankings. They don't have a world rankings, but I did find the International Flag Football World Championships, which were founded in 2002. Austria, of all places. Throw another shrimp on the barbie. Austria,
Wait.
of all places in 2002.
Wait. Time out.
I don't think those are the same thing.
Austria or Australia?
He was making a Dumb and Dumber joke. I was with you, Cameron.
You guys suck, man.
No, I was with you. Dumb and Dumber.
I'm sorry.
Dumb and
I thought you were
Dumber.
making fun of Hunter. I didn't know it was a TV show.
I did too.
So they started in 2002, and Austria won the gold medal the very first 2 years. Then France won. Then Canada won. Then around 2010, 8 years later, I think the United States realized that they were doing this, and they were like, "Hold on, we need to compete in this." We then won in 2010. Then Austria actually came back in 2012 and beat us. But since 2014, we've won 5 straight world championships.
Dynasty.
Yeah. So, good luck.
I have a serious question.
It'd be a problem if the U.S. didn't win.
I have a serious question because, like the World Baseball Classic, like you don't necessarily have to be from there to end up representing there. I don't know the Olympic rules on flag football, but like, could Canadian football players play for Canada?
I think so.
That
like,
would maybe level it a little bit.
I think I heard that it's one player per country per team. Is that right?
One NFL player, you mean?
Yeah.
Per NFL team.
I don't know.
I'm
not quite sure.
So you're saying in that scenario we get one player from each NFL team?
Yeah. But like if they were from, I don't know, not the U.S., they could go play for their
like the guy that's on the offensive line for the Eagles. He's from Australia. What's his name?
If we get some Canadian whatever, couldn't he go play for Team Canada?
I'm saying American dudes that play in the Canadian Football League.
Oh, so you're saying like if somebody plays for like Alberta, they can go represent Canada even though they're from Florida?
Because like Lars Newbar straight up plays for China, the World Baseball Classic.
Right. If they know they're not going to be able to represent the United States, can they go? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that happens. Yeah, that happens in baseball. It happens in basketball.
I would think the Olympics would have different rules on that, but I don't know.
They let it happen in basketball. They let a dude who played just right up the road at Radford University play for South Sudan this past year in the Olympics.
Yeah, that's true. That does happen.
So, that would level it out a little bit. Then we would only win like 70-0. So there you go.
No, dude, somebody's going to score because, like, you think about NFL defenses; they're built on contact. They're not necessarily built on coverage anymore.
Okay,
the corner's going to try to bump you at the line.
All right, I pulled the article.
Which is not allowed. We found out because of Abelmati. You cannot bump people at the line. I had like 3 touchdowns taken back because he was holding people.
We at one point will just tell the story of our intramural flag football season, and that is going to be the absolute
not
end
a
of the
dynasty
podcast.
All right, so here we go. All right, I found the article. A maximum of 1 player from each NFL team will be allowed to participate, and each club's designated international player is also permitted to take part for his country. There you go.
That levels it a little bit.
32. By the way, the NFL owners passed this 32-0.
That's
hell yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Play.
Hell yeah.
Who cares? It's like, I mean,
hey, they're playing football all the time now. Player safety is not a thing anymore. So
no,
they just want more football. We just want more football.
I agree with that. So
and also flag football is way safer. So.
I'm just curious if it's like the superstar level guys that are gonna try to play.
Yeah, I'll be curious.
You'll have a few. I honestly do think though, like, I think
Mike
you might see a couple of like guys that just recently retired. Like I could see Gronk like getting back in shape and wanting to do it. Like I could see it.
It's the 9 foot tall hands machine.
Yeah, like I mean, like, he's gonna be good enough to
shit though.
Yeah,
Do they have tight ends in the Olympics?
Why would we not send a couple of tight ends? Who's going to stop that?
They have fullbacks.
Send Cam Scatterbo and just let him run over everybody. Who gives a shit if it's flag?
I don't think it'll be the superstar guys, and I don't think it'll be the super rookie guys. But everybody else is free game.
Dude, this is Colt McCoy's wet dream right here. He's finally going to get
Colt
his time.
McCoy and Chase Daniel, gold medal Central, baby.
Where's Graham Harrell? Landon, call Graham Harrell. Get him on the line. We got to have him be our quarterback.
He's busy. He's busy coaching the Wildcats to a conference title.
God,
let Graham Harrell go out there. We need him. His country needs him in 2028.
That's the thing is we don't. There's literally 1,000 other options.
I have missed the obvious choice. Johnny Football.
That's true. He would be good.
Man, if he was still alive though, R.I.P. Jared Lorenzen. Give us the hefty lefty.
Johnny Manziel
died. When did he die?
If you put a keg in that end zone, Johnny Manziel's winning that thing by himself.
Cam.
I mean, give me OJ.
Cam out there.
Yeah.
Go put Cam Newton out there. Not Cam Gross. Sorry, Cam.
Oh. I was thinking we're getting a little optimistic here.
Colin Kaepernick.
Optimistic would be saying Jordan.
Oh, not Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick. Hold on. I just had a thought. What if all of our good players take a knee and just decide not to play for our team?
Could happen. It's possible.
Then we call up Colin Kaepernick. I guess. What other quarterbacks do we have? Brett Favre.
Kaepernick can play because he's not on any NFL team. So
yeah, he's available.
Angel Reese is a pretty big target.
Oh Jesus.
CC.
Great at the tip drill. At some point on this podcast, we're going to have to talk about Colin Kaepernick, but that's for another day.
That's another day.
No, we really don't have to talk about it.
I don't think we do.
Okay, then I'll go there.
He's like 39 years old, and he doesn't need to be relevant anymore.
I'm as woke as they get when it comes to this kind of stuff. I don't care if you kneel for the anthem. I don't care if you stand for the anthem. I don't care if you throw up during the anthem. What I know for certain is that Colin Kaepernick lost his job to Blaine Gabbert, and that alone should be reason enough for you to stop pretending that you're ever going to play professional football again. Also, that was 6 years ago.
He's 37. Yeah, his window's over.
Stop it. You lost your job to Blaine Gabbert in the NFL.
6'4", 230.
There is nothing else.
Ran like a deer.
Ran like a deer. That is one of the greatest college football games of all time when he took down Boise State at Nevada. That was great. It was an absolute fantastic football game. Sorry, Cass.
That was a great game.
Devastating, but I remember it.
It was a great game. Yeah. All right. Well, let's perfect segue here of talking about disasters for my last topic. Then we'll hang a banner and get out of here. Colin Kaepernick disaster. Another disaster is happening in Chapel Hill, very close to Cameron over there. Bill Belichick reported yesterday is now allegedly engaged to his lovely fiance, who has never said anything wrong. Just in case this somehow surfaces to her, Jordon Hudson. Apparently she was reportedly banned from UNC's football facilities, and then she said,
as
"You know
she
what?
Should be."
Hold on, don't say bad things about her just yet."
No, I will.
Lovely person.
And then, so she was reportedly banned, and then she said, "You know what? No, I'm not going to be banned. Me and Bill are now engaged, and we're getting married in December. So how are you going to ban his fiance now?" So apparently, she is running the UNC football program. I just had to bring it up, and we just can touch on it very shortly. I do want to do a deep dive into their schedule. I'm so fucking fascinated with this football team. I cannot wait to see this disaster pan out over this football season. I want to watch it so bad. Cameron, you already had words about her. Go ahead and tell us about Jordan, how lovely she is.
This is on her, this is on Bill, and this is on UNC as well. It's on her for, number one, being a distraction, and just outright being a distraction. There is no need for her to be a distraction. Now, I get some of that is a little, it gets spun by the media. I get that. But she's also doing things to go out of her way to be a distraction. Like the interviews that they don't have to do, where she is, managing the entire, like she's running the interview. They don't have to do those, right? She is being a distraction. So it's on her. Number 2, it's on Bill Belichick. If that's your girlfriend, that's your girlfriend. That's fine. But you need to have some sort of control over what she is allowed to do and what she is allowed to, to be around with the program. And then lastly, it's on UNC for even allowing this to go this far. Number 1, you hired the guy, and he was already in a relationship with this girl, so you should have known about this and that it was going to be a story. And then number 2, you're allowing Bill Belichick to control this. Like, no other coach in America would be able to do this, but because it's Bill Belichick, he knows that he has UNC wrapped around his finger and he can do whatever he wants because he's Bill Belichick. And I feel bad for UNC in some way because they wanted to hire a good football coach, but because they have no control over the situation, given that it's Bill Belichick, I feel like it's off the rails now. And if they have a good football team, I was talking about this today with someone at work, actually. If they have a good football team this fall, no one gives a shit. No one's going to give a shit if they have a good football team. But if they do not have a good football team this fall, he will be out the door quicker than Tyreek Hill running past the Egyptian cornerback. Like,
I make it a video.
If they do not have a good football team, he needs to be gone. That's too much for a college football program that is supposed to be focused on those kids and those athletes. And now it's becoming about a 23 or 24-year-old girl who is now apparently engaged to a 60-something-year-old.
Listen, this is simple. First of all, let me throw this part out there. I am so sick of hearing about Bill Belichick and his personal life. I don't care. Date who you want, whatever. I'm going to throw this out there. Bill Belichick's never coached college kids, and the bullying approach that he has had so much success with doesn't work anymore. He's also been complete garbage without Tom Brady forever. Career win percentage with Tom Brady, 769. Career win percentage without Tom Brady, 449. And got fired after winning 6 Super Bowls.
Mac Jones.
I have a take, and I've said this from the very beginning. Bill Belichick to North Carolina never made sense to me. Then it came out that he got written in his contract that his son would be named the coach in waiting. And I think this whole thing is a ploy to get his son the job. I don't think Bill Belichick's ever going to coach a game for North Carolina. And then he can ride off into the sunset with his granddaughter's best friend or whoever she is. And life can be good, and we can stop hearing about Bill Belichick. All I know is the dude had Tom Brady and a million cheating scandals. You take those away, and he's got a couple of wins against the Dolphins. That's it. It's boring to me. I'm over it.
I need one game. I just need the opener, and I want Jordan on the sideline right behind Bill the entire fucking time because it's going to get blown up, and Twitter is going to be immaculate.
To be completely fair, for 2 years on this podcast, I have ripped Deion Sanders for being the biggest distraction to his football team. Deion Sanders is nowhere near the distraction Bill Belichick is for his team right now. So
100%.
I can't knock Deion and then praise Bill Belichick because he won some Super Bowl rings a decade ago. This is old, it's stale, it's boring. I'm over it. And at this point, I'm just rooting for whatever happens to be a complete train wreck in Chapel Hill.
Dude, that's what I'm here for. Like, you're tired of it. I want more. I want the train. Cameron said the train is off the tracks. Buddy, the train is not only off the tracks, it's off in the woods and up the mountain.
It's on the water.
I want it to keep going up the mountain and then over the edge.
Look, the train was off the tracks when they gave up 70 points to JMU last year.
Good point.
That is the point.
The train is now rolling down the mountain. And it's bad.
When it crashes, it's going to be awesome.
Full speed ahead.
That is bad.
I'm just going to go on record on this podcast tonight and say that Bill Belichick is never going to coach a game for North Carolina football.
Okay.
It's May. August, September's a long way away. And if he's this kind of a mess, this kind of a distraction already, like they're banning your girlfriend from the practice facility, dude. This ain't going to end well for old Bill.
The funniest thing is that he is such a huge distraction, and he doesn't even fucking talk. He doesn't have to. He just sits there and just does this, and he
would be a big enough distraction anyway. But all of this, like, dude, you at some point you got to step in and say, "Listen here, chick that has to look both ways when she crosses the street. I'm Bill freaking Belichick. The only reason anybody cares about you is because A, you're dating me, and B, you're attractive."
But he's a 60-something-year-old man dating a 24-year-old or whatever. He's not going to say that. He needs that. He needs that 24-year-old girlfriend. He is like, she's got him whipped. Like,
all I know is that the ACC was not a great conference.
Viagra.
What I know is that the ACC was not a great conference. Inflategate.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, no.
What I know is that the ACC was not a great conference in football this year. And if Bill Belichick is actually the coach and is actually coaching games come this fall, they're not winning more than 4 or 5 games. And I haven't even looked at the schedule.
Oh, buddy. Jordan said he's never going to coach a game. I'm doubling down against you. He's going to coach at least one. The very first game, standalone on Labor Day, 7 p.m. on ESPN against TCU in Chapel Hill. They are going to put him out there. He retires at halftime. They give up a touchdown on the first drive, and Jordan makes him quit on the spot on the sideline, and his son takes over.
Plot twist: Jordon Hudson takes over the headset.
Oh my God! It's a Sandra Bullock blindside moment. She's like, "Bill, run the dang ball."
The whole thing just feels like an episode of Punk'd Found Make-A-Wish. Like, the whole thing is just bananas, and I'm so tired of it. But here we are talking about North Carolina football in May. Something's working. I would hate to be the PR person. Listen, I got offered a job one time to go be the PR guy at Kansas, specifically for 2 programs, football and men's basketball. And this was right after they hired a guy named Les Miles. So I was going to be the PR guy for Les Miles and Bill Self. And then the Les Miles news hit. And I remember thinking, man, I'm really glad I didn't take that job, because that's going to be a nightmare for the PR team. This is, oh my God, worse.
Way worse. I love it. I'm here for every second of it. I can't wait to talk about it even more when we get to football
Hunter
season.
and I are going to have some off-air bets being made for sure.
I just saw such a funny tweet. It's a picture of, what's Belichick's son's name?
Steve.
It's a picture of him in a headset coaching for the Patriots, and he has the most confused look on his face.
Yes.
And the caption says, "Watching your inheritance go to Mrs. Maine, second runner-up."
Damn it.
We've come such a long way from Bill Belichick being untouchable. Because North Carolina is going to get so sick of this that he's going to be gone. Oh my God, that guy looks like Copenhagen and Mountain Dew had a child.
All right, let's hang a banner and get out of here.
Is that guy eligible for NASCAR?
Hey, we're going to turn to the left.
We're going fast and turning left. All right. Let's hang a banner. Let's get out of here. Landon, you said you had a banner earlier in the day. I can't wait to actually see this. So, Jordan, get ready to talk. Landon, go ahead.
I'm going to hang the banner for the state of Ohio's legislator.
Oh, boy.
Oh, politics.
So they came out with a bill in
Belichick?
in direct defiance of Big Noon Football. They introduced a bill basically trying to outlaw any, I don't even remember what the full thing was.
State University before 3 o'clock.
Yes. So it's basically they don't want to play a rivalry game before 3 o'clock p.m. And they're going to fine the networks up to $10 million if they schedule it. I don't even think this is like legally possible, but
sometimes a legal threat's all you need. Yeah,
the fact that they're trying is hilarious. Yeah, so hang a banner to the state of Ohio, just in general, for that.
Listen, I saw Hunter blowing up about this the other. What is everybody's beef with a noon kickoff time?
Here's my thing about noon kickoff
my bread and butter.
As a fan going to the games, it fucking sucks. But for
because
TV,
you can't get tanked at 9 a.m. or what?
No, I can get tanked at 9 a.m. I just don't want to. My thing about it, though, as a fan sitting at home, dude, Big Noon Kickoff rules.
Yeah.
if I'm sitting on my couch, you're telling me Ohio State, Penn State's coming on at 11 a.m., then I turn on the SEC game of the week after that, I'm fucking sold. I do see why
it's
fans
Ohio
hate
State
it.
and Texas, right?
Get out of here. Get out of here.
It's Ohio State and Texas.
Yeah, biggest game of week one. It's at 11 o'clock in the morning. I'll take it because I have no
telling
rooting interest.
You're telling me that if I lived on the West Coast and I just woke up at 9 a.m. and games are already on,
and Texas, Ohio State's on in week one?
Yeah.
Get out of here with that. That is the dumbest thing. I grew up on 11 a.m. kicks, baby. Like, this is the heart of the country for 11 a.m. kicks,
I love
man.
it, man.
Nobody in America plays more 11 a.m. games than Iowa. I promise you. Like, I grew up with it. It's in my blood. We used to tailgate at 5 in the morning in Iowa
Love
City.
it.
We would bring our chili. It'd be cold as hell. We'd be on the golf course. We'd be bundled
Hell yeah, you're
up.
eating chili at 5 a.m., you bastard.
Yes, we are. We're playing catch with the football like it's cold and it's people are drunk at 6:45 a.m.
The fact that you're tailgating on the golf course is amazing.
Oh, it's right next to the stadium. You got
As
you
a
got a system when you go to Iowa
I
City.
gotta go to Iowa for a football game. This sounds amazing outside of the
it's
chili
so
at 8 a.m.
Philly Children's Hospital football.
Literally, it is so fun in Iowa City. But we're so used to that. That is just like prime. Like, it's a little gloomy. It's a little cold. It's 11 a.m. and you're kicking it off, man. You're about to win 10-6. That's
wonderful.
crazy to me.
I like it.
That people would.
And if you're telling me that Ohio State's not going to sell, Ohio State could play the Ohio School for the Deaf and Blind and sell out that game.
You know what I didn't do though when I was in college?
I think they would
watch the games at 11:30 p.m.
Exactly.
I wasn't watching any of that.
Yeah.
You're telling me you failed the Hawaii test every week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, Pac-12 after dark. Never saw any of that.
So
it is our brand to be after dark. We are press box after dark, and you're
It's why
telling me you
Christian
didn't do
McCaffrey
that.
didn't win the Heisman. He won he didn't win the Heisman because nobody watched his games.
That's why the Pac-12 doesn't exist anymore.
I'm just telling you, I loved early kickoffs when I worked in college sports.
Oh, hell
Let me be home by 7 o'clock after the football game.
Absolutely. That was the best.
It's a benefit to everybody. I don't understand that at all.
So I found the actual bill, and I think it's just hilarious. One of the things is the earlier time of the college football game between the two is a tradition than it can be. You know, it can start at that time. It's been the tradition that it started if it's before 3 o'clock. And then they go on to enumerate what a tradition is.
Ew.
And it says, for this purpose, a college football tradition is a start time of a game between the two teams of two institutions whose football teams have competed at least 50 times, and the start time has been the same at least 95% of those games. Who the hell's doing that? Who's
I
going
don't
back to look at that?
I don't understand law.
Somebody that got paid to, I'm sure.
It's just, I mean, I don't know. Apparently, this tweet also says that in addition, they also made flag planting in Ohio Stadium a felony.
Oh yeah, that's such a bitch move. Come on,
don't lose to Michigan 4 years in a row.
Yeah, thank you. That's good.
Let me just step in and say, as the resident Ohioan, I've never hated a fan base.
I feel like every
as
year
much
that
as
I know,
I hate.
I feel like every year I know Cass. She lives in a different state, and that's saying a lot because I know Hunter. Between the two of you, you guys have to live in like 27 of them by now.
Cass, are you a Kanzonian? What do you call those?
Sure, I think it's just a Kansan.
Oh, I made that way too hard. I made that way too hard.
I identify as a wildcat.
Kanzanian?
Yeah.
Oh.
No. I have hated Ohio State. Like, it was bred into me, and like my mom actually is an Ohio State fan.
Ew.
And like my dad has never she's not a weird one. She just likes Ohio State.
Kendra.
Like, but I had a teacher in high school, and he graduated from Ohio State, and he literally he gave like special like Buckeye like necklaces to like all the kids that were like going to Ohio State for them to wear at like graduation and stuff.
That's a cult.
And and he was just, I don't know. And I could never stand them. Like the people who talked about Ohio State, like it was just, oh, Ohio State this, Ohio State that. And then guess who I worked with when I worked with the Fury? It was like all these fucking Ohio State people.
Aaron Kraft.
And they're and like just genuinely like
Aaron Kraft was
they're
there
the
for 20
worst.
years.
I think this is a great segue, Cass. Speaking of cult fan bases that think their team's everything that matters, I'd like to hang my banner for the year that Texas A&M athletics has had.
Let's go.
Oh, buddy, we're going to be here a while.
No, I'll make it quick. This is fun for me, though, because all I heard from even some Texas fans was that Texas wasn't going to be able to hang in the SEC, this and that. So since the second to last week of the season, of last football season, Texas A&M has been on one hell of a little brother run. Here we go. They paid a coach $77 million to go away and then won exactly one more game, only to lose the Las Vegas Bowl. Then they lost their top recruit, who they stole from Texas Tech, and then went back to Texas Tech. It's tough when you're losing people to Texas Tech. They benched their highest-ranked signing ever last year just to watch him transfer after the season. Good move. They lost their baseball coach to Texas and then watched Texas sweep them in College Station. They saw their basketball coach bolt for Maryland and then replaced him with a guy from Samford. Not Stanford, Samford.
Nice.
Super high-quality stuff. They went preseason baseball number 1 to unranked faster than any team in the history of college baseball that's been around for a long time. They saw Texas win 8 SEC titles, 8 different sports. They went 5-11 head-to-head against Texas. They were the only 3 wins on Missouri's 3-27 conference baseball schedule. And now they're the first ever softball team ranked number 1 to not advance after getting beat by juggernaut Liberty on their own field. That's a hell of a year, and I don't know how Texas A&M fans consistently find a way to show up for that team and that athletic department. But, buddy, let me tell you, all the stuff about they're going to bolt for the Big Ten. Texas fans love A&M in the SEC the same way we loved them in the Big 12. They are the ultimate little brother. Even Texas Tech doesn't have as much inferiority complex. In the fight song, they acknowledge Texas as the varsity, acknowledging that you yourselves are the JV.
I do. I give them credit for continuing to show up for those teams, man.
At
least they don't do that, but yeah, that's.
I will say this: I think Mike Elko in year 2 is in for a surprising season. I think they're going to turn some heads. But
is that good or bad surprising season?
A good way.
Oh, okay, good.
But the last year they've had, not good.
I love
that, little brother.
I love how Jordan and I are talking, and Hunter and Cam are just.
Are you guys arm wrestling on Zoom right now? What is happening?
I'm a yell leader.
We're doing what the milkmen do.
Yeah, I don't even have to talk about the yell leaders.
I do have the answer though of why their fans keep showing up. It's
Hunter, you look like you were trying to be a G.I. Joe.
It's because they're a cult. That's why they keep showing up.
It's true.
Also,
Hunter that sent me the video of the Texas mascot.
Oh yeah, I sent it.
And said even the mascot at Texas is hotter than the cheerleaders at A&M. I got a good chuckle out of that.
That was a good one. That was a good tweet.
Hunter,
I don't know who tweeted it. It was great.
Hunter, I'll go real quick.
Go ahead.
I have a literal, like, this should actually be a banner and it would be pretty funny. That they should hang in Iowa City. But I don't know if you guys saw this. Big news out of Chicago a couple of weeks ago that they have the newest pope is from Chicago, right? So I saw a stat. Since 1963, there have been 6 popes. There have also been 6 Iowa football coaches.
Oh my God.
Kirk Ferentz has been the head coach at Iowa over the reigns of the last 4 popes.
Oh my
God. So I think like that would be so funny, like in the practice facility, if you just saw like number of popes and just head coaches at Iowa. So that was my like kind of fake hang the banner. Just to acknowledge that, because that's just an insane stat that's a thing. I wanted to hang the banner for ridiculous social media. We've gone way too far with the schedule release for the NFL.
Oh,
this is way too over the top these days. Why was it a 3-hour show? I didn't get to see the Dallas schedule until like 2.5 hours into the show.
Just tell me who we're playing.
I just need. Can I just see the damn schedule? I just want to know like who we're playing at Thanksgiving and how many times we're not in prime time, which is only like 4 times this year.
I don't know, dude. The Bills bringing in Allen Iverson was freaking awesome.
No,
that was hilarious.
And honestly, like I always want to see what the Chargers do. Like, there's a lot of good social out there because this is like their Super Bowl now. Like this is like the biggest thing ever. What my frustration is you do all these leaks and like every day a network was like, we've got this game and we've got this game. It was like the most played out. They had a whole announcement during the draft and they were like, the schedule announcement's coming out, man. I love the schedule. I am like my mind works. I would love to see like a documentary on how they build the NFL schedule. That would be so fascinating to me because I love how that math works out and like all the TV partners, you have to satisfy all that. But just give me the damn schedule. I don't need to see. I don't need this to be a week-long TV show. I don't know why it was a 3-hour show.
We're
on
approaching
3
a
different
week-long
networks.
podcast.
Also, Jesus,
Yep.
Dallas has 4 Thursday games, most ever. They have all but 4 games in a national time slot again because people still want to watch this freaking team play football. They open at Philly. That sucks. I don't want to. We're going to go 0-1 opening night. And then the Chiefs on Thanksgiving, they're losing that game.
brutal.
At Washington on Christmas Day. My Christmas Day's going to be ruined now.
What about the NFL hating Cowboys families? Cowboys fans' families.
So that's good. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. Dallas has a 4-week stretch that includes Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Vikings from Thanksgiving into December. So that. Anyway, but the schedule has just gone way too far. So hang another banner, NFL. You've done it. You've pissed off more people.
Oh,
Zach, I saw something earlier that said the Dallas pro sports teams' appearances in the conference championship.
Yeah.
Since 2000. The Mavs obviously lead the way. Then the Stars. The Rangers have 3. The Cowboys have 0. And I'm just telling you, to be worse than the Rangers for the bulk of that 25-year stretch is really bad.
And actually, Dallas's regular season win total since 2000 is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But their playoff wins, I think they only have like 2 or 3 playoff wins. Not even conference championship runs, just literal total playoff wins. I think it's
the
like
Rangers have legitimately turned in like 12 under 500 seasons in that stretch. Maybe more.
Like crazy.
Case and Gabbard was toeing the rubber for some of those teams.
And in football, you just have to win once. In baseball, you got to win 4 of 7.
Yeah. It takes a lot to be worse than some of those.
In fact, in all of those other sports, you have to win 4 out of 7.
It's tough, man. I feel for you. What I'm hearing, though, is Dak Prescott's going to be an amazing fantasy quarterback because he's going to be playing from behind a lot.
You ready for this? You ready for this? He's the oldest player on the team now.
Oh, wow. Jerry doesn't count?
True. And I do think they might have their punter might be older, but their position players,
Jerry died. Nobody told him.
Dak's my age. He's 32. He's in year 10. He's the oldest player. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
32, the oldest player on the team.
Yeah. I'll take that. I will take that. That's good. But yeah. Anyway, there's never hope. Landon, there's never hope for us.
No, absolutely not.
All right. Glad you're with us.
I'll go next real quick, and we'll let Cass and Cameron close it out. Hang a banner for the first ever Weenie 500. I don't know if you guys saw this on Twitter today. The Oscar Mayer and Indy 500 are teaming up to run the first ever Weenie 500 this Friday, May 23rd. It will be streamed on the Fox Sports app and will feature the first ever meetup, M-E-A-T, of all 6 Wienermobiles racing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, with the winner going into the Wiener Circle. They are going to race Wienermobiles on that track, and I can't wait to watch this. I don't even have the Fox Sports app, but I'm going to download it just to watch these Oscar Mayer Wiener trucks race around the track.
I'm so in on this, dude. This is like up there with Marvel Olympics. This sounds fantastic. Let's do it.
I can't wait, dude. I'm so excited.
It's not on TV. It's only on the app.
So I think there is a way. I don't know. I saw this. It's free on the app, so you just have to download the app. I don't think they're planning on putting it on TV yet. I feel like if this gains traction really quickly, I feel like it should. Because, like, why do you not want to see 6 Wienermobiles actually race? And so, like, I wanted to make sure it wasn't like a stunt. Like, they weren't just going to have, like, a scripted thing. Like, you know how, like, the President's Race, the Nats game, and, like, everybody in the costumes know, like, oh, so-and-so's winning today. I didn't want it to be like, oh, this is going to be – no, I've read the article. They are saying it's going to be a legit – they're going to race these Wienermobiles, and I can't wait. Like, this is just too good.
How fast does a Wienermobile go?
We're going to find out. I don't know, but we're going to find out.
I'm so on the interstate.
And I feel like,
do you have a date for this yet? Can you and I get together and get drunk for this thing?
Dude, it's going to have to be on Zoom because it's on Friday. The race is on Friday, but I'll get drunk with anybody and watch wieners run around the track. I don't care. Also, too, I'm glad I got this to be. I'm glad I got this to be.
Of the episode.
Yeah, there you go.
Big wiener watcher.
Big wiener watcher. I'm glad I'm the one that got this to be my hang a banner because I'm from Starkville, Mississippi, home of the world's largest wiener dog race, the Starkville Derby. It just happened a couple weekends ago. 80,000 people in Starkville, Mississippi watched wiener dogs race. So now we're going to get to watch the Wienermobiles go around the track. It's going to be awesome.
God, that's so many people.
Did we start the episode with balls and end with wieners?
And that's what they call in radio a segue.
That's a great banner segment there, Hunter. Let me know when that happens because I'm tuning in. I'm in.
Friday, May 23rd. I'll get a time. We'll all stop what you're doing on Friday. We'll all hop on a podcast together. We'll live stream this bitch. I don't care.
Joke's on you.
Wait.
Friday night, my plans were letting the Rangers ruin my mental health, so I'll take a break from that.
Cam, Landon, and me will all be in the same state on Friday.
Well, you wait for us?
Y'all can legitimately go to a bar and watch this then. That's what y'all need to do. You just go to the bar, like, give me a beer and turn on some wieners on the TV. That's what I want to see.
Maybe be a bit more specific than that.
Oh, okay. All right. Cass, Cameron, one of y'all go. We got to get out of here. It's about an 8-hour podcast at this point.
I'll go. Mine's pretty quick, and it's not that great, but it's okay. Hang a banner. I'm sure our SID and media folks have heard of this, but hang a banner influencer. For those of you who don't know what influencer is it's a platform that allows athletes to more easily get their name, image, and likeness out there, and it enables schools to sign up, partner with influencer, and then their athletes can essentially sell ways for them to profit off of their name, image, and likeness. Most of these, you're able to search by sport and find athletes that way. Most of these are like, you can order interviews with the athletes, or you can order lessons or signed memorabilia or whatever. There's a college baseball account that found this at West Virginia University. I don't know how they found this. There's a guy on West Virginia University's baseball team. His name is Robbie Porco. And you click on his profile, and there's only one option on his influencer profile. It's $1, and the title of this is Hang Out. And then in the description, it just says, I can come chill. So for $1, I'm assuming you got to live in Morgantown, West Virginia, but for $1, you can pay Robbie Porco to come hang out with you. And I think that's amazing. That's what NIL is all about.
There you go. That's it. That's what NIL was created for. Dude, imagine he just gets a phone call and they're like, hey, we need another person to play Dungeons and Dragons. Here's $1. And he's like, fuck, I got to go. Oh, that'd be incredible. That's absolutely incredible. That was a great one, Cameron.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I love how his price is $1 too. Like he made it affordable for everybody.
He's gonna lose money in gas just going over to this place to hang out.
Yep. Oh man, that's so great. That's great. Cass, you're a special guest here. Close us out with a hang a banner, and we can get out of here in under 3 hours.
All right, I'm gonna hang a banner for my good friend Asia Wilson. I wish Asia Wilson, if you're listening, please be my friend.
She is not.
She's not. But preseason, she released her shoe earlier, a little while ago, but she had a really great release at one of the preseason games. The whole team wore them. And she's just in the last couple days, they've dropped a couple more colorways, and it's just a badass shoe, man. And I want more shoes for women. Sab has one, and I love her shoe, and there need to be more. And so yeah, just hang a banner for Asia and those kick-ass shoes, and I really want the blue ones. So if anyone is listening and wants to buy me the blue A1s, anyone at all, thank you.
I wanted the pink ones. I wanted the pink ones, and I couldn't get them.
Well, I'm just not a pink person. That is not part of my personality, and so the blue ones are I love.
Oh. Las Vegas Aces, if you're listening to this podcast, we know you are. Don't lie. Please send all of us a pair of shoes, and we will wear nothing but those shoes on every single podcast. And we'll make it video again, and then we will show our feet every single time.
Every single time.
It won't be weird. Just don't make it weird.
Just only a little weird.
Just only a little weird. It's a little weird. Okay. Big balls, wieners, and feet. This is such a great podcast.
There's your title.
There's your title. The one with, I don't think we can put the one with big balls, wieners, and feet in the title.
The graphic will be insane.
The graphic's going to be fantastic. I can't wait for that. We are Press Box After Dark. If you made it this far and you haven't followed us by now, then you really must hate us because this is a long podcast here. But give us a follow. Subscribe to us on YouTube and on Spotify at Press Box After Dark. Follow us on Twitter at PressBoxAD, and in our bio there on Twitter, you can check out all of our weekly blogs at PressBoxAfterDark.com. Please help us grow. We love doing this podcast, so anything helps. Like a video, share a video, follow us, whatever you can do for us to help us out. Please do so. We really does mean a lot to us. Does anybody have anything else they want to add before we end this thing?
Nope.
Suck it, honey.
Nope.
And then Landon goes, suck it, Hunter, and then that's out.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect. Balls.
It's time for the Sonic drive of the game. And perhaps as far as I'm concerned, the drive of the game may be our drive home from Starkville to Tupelo.
You can't fire me! I got a contract! I'm rich